Hey, what's up YouTube? Khallid AKA Smoove Flipper. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I just want to show you guys what I picked up yesterday. I ended up picking up 5 phones and 2 speakers. Just wanted to show you guys, but also kind of give you guys the rundown on what happened and the different obstacles that I had to overcome to pick these phones up. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So yesterday I ended up picking up again 5 phones and 2 speakers. The 2 speakers I ended up picking up were the Google Home Minis. So I got 2 of these. A guy actually was selling the codes for $5 on Google, so you could use the code that he gave you and pick them up for free. But you paid him, well, I paid him the $5 for each one. So those I'm not going to be making money on. I'm just going to keep one, and I might give one to my mom, depending on if she wants it or not. But those ones I'm not making money off of those. But I, just want to show you guys because I did pick them up yesterday. So where it gets good is this. I ended up picking up 4 iPhone XRs. There's 2. Give you one more here, and then the last one, 4. So I ended up picking up 4 right here. All Sprint, CDMA locked, Badius, and but the reason why I wanted to really make this video was to, kind of give you guys a rundown on what actually happened. So a guy messaged me on my actual Facebook page, my Smoove Wireless Facebook page, where I do some ads here and there. I spoke to him before in the past and just didn't get anything out of it. But he messaged me again yesterday, and we were talking a little bit, and then I realized, okay, this guy doesn't speak very good English. His English wasn't the best at all. It was hard to understand everything, so I tried my best to get him to meet up, because I wanted to see what he has and negotiate from there. He told me he had iPhone XS's, and then I told him to send me a picture of them, and he sends pictures of the iPhone XR. So I knew he just didn't understand the models and stuff like that, so I wanted to actually have him meet me at a Starbucks where we can talk and discuss numbers. So it took me about an hour to actually explain it to him. I tried my best to explain it to him. I don't speak Spanish at all. This guy did. He didn't speak very good English. So what I did was I used Google Translate. So if you never heard of Google Translate in 2018, you're behind. But basically, you can write something in English and it'll come out in Spanish. So, or whatever language you want to translate it in. So I met up with him. He was, he came in. He only brought one of the phones. The rest were in his car. And I thought he just couldn't, write in English. I thought he could speak a little bit of English. So I was talking to him in English, but he just was staring at me like he didn't understand a word I was saying, which is okay. So I took my phone out and started writing things in English and showing him my phone while I wrote it in English, and it will come out in Spanish. So then he would use his phone to translate it from Spanish to English. So he knew how to write and speak Spanish, obviously. So everything he was saying was typing in Spanish, and I was reading it out in English, and vice versa. So we negotiated that way. We negotiated. I believe I started the number at $16.50 for all of them, for all 4, and he wanted 17. And then, he wanted 18, and then I went to 17, and we just kept negotiating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we finally made a deal. And again, I can't speak. He can't speak. So we're limited here, and I'm just typing. I'm just typing and then showing him. I'll type, show him, and then he would say, "Oh, okay," and then he would write in Spanish, and I would read it in English. So we were negotiating that way, and this is something that I've never really had to overcome or get past, because some of the people that I do deal with, especially when I was back in San Diego, a lot of them were Spanish speaking, but they would always bring someone who did speak English, which made it easier because I would just speak to them and then they would translate it. But the fact that I had to type everything out, it was different. It paid off well because at the end of the day, he sold me these 4 phones, right? So I gave him the money, said thank you, I had to write it out. Thank you, appreciate it. Let me know if you have any more phones. And I showed him, and then he says maybe tomorrow. So I say, okay, cool. This might be a supplier. 5 minutes later, I'm still getting everything logged in. When I buy phones, I log my phones in by IMEI so I can keep track of all my inventory. I'm doing that in the Starbucks. He comes back and writes on his phone and says, hey, I want to sell my iPhone 8 Plus. So he was using an iPhone 8 Plus that had a cracked back. This one was T-Mobile. It had a balance on it, but it had a cracked back, and I ended up making him an offer. I gave him $200 for it, and he said okay. He took the deal, and I believe I sold it on eBay the same day, which was yesterday. I sold it for $349.95. So ended up making a good profit on that, but you know, I wasn't initially even going to buy the iPhone 8 Plus. I was just going to buy the iPhone XR, and he came back and sold me that. I was smart about this one because when you deal with people like this, he didn't even have Sprint. He had T-Mobile. So that already gave me an idea. He's probably just getting phones and ruining his credit, but he can have access to phones because he's opening lines for them. So I wrote in English, hey, can you get more phones? What models can you get? He says, okay, I can get the same models. I can try to get them either tomorrow, which is today, or Friday, which is tomorrow. And I said, okay, just let me know. We're all typing this back and forth. So again, he texted me today this morning, maybe about 10 a.m. Right now it's about 2:30 p.m. and he has 5 more. So I ended up finding, you know, what it can potentially be a supplier who's getting these phones, you know, here and there. Yesterday I bought 4 from him, and then today I'm going to buy 5 from him. But again, this is going to be an obstacle that I have to overcome. And for anybody else who's dealing with this, use Google Translate. Use anything you can use as far as something that can help you if you don't speak that language. You know, even if they speak a totally different language, it doesn't have to be Spanish. It could be any language. I'm sure Google Translate can help you out if you are wanting to make that deal, and if you can't, you know, actually communicate with them in English or Spanish or whatever language that they speak. So just wanted to kind of give you guys the story, the backstory of it, of how I picked these up, and just to let you guys know that there really shouldn't be anything that can stop you from making deals and overcoming these obstacles. I don't speak Spanish. I know a couple words in Spanish. I don't, you know, speak it fluently at all, but I, you know, found a way to make it work. And again, he's going to be sending me 5 phones, or we're going to meet up, and he's going to be selling me 5 phones today. So I made the deal yesterday. It paid off. Just wanted to kind of give you guys that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys can find some value out of it, of knowing what you can do in situations like this. If you do, please drop a like on my videos. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.